You know, this project is turning out to be more complicated than I first thought, not so straightforward. So I think I'm going to have to take a more structured approach to it. Things happen that I don't expect them to happen, so I'm going to have to point out what I think should happen and what actually does happen. In a lot of software I've used, everything is to expectation. Nothing seems to be unusual or unexplained or out of the ordinary. But in Design Spark PCB, there seems to be quite a bit of this. So I'm going to try and show this in a structured approach so that people can see for themselves what is unusual about it. And it's not just them getting things wrong. It really is the program acting in a very strange way. So here's my first one of Design Spark PCB, warts and all. Well, here we are in a blank project. I've got a project tab, a PCB tab and a schematic tab. So I'm going to start with the schematic, draw a schematic. So we go up here to the add component. Now I'm currently in the Design Spark folder here. Well, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to go down to this one, which is Users Design Spark PCB 9. So I'm going to go down to here, which is op amps. Right. Okay, I've got op amps there. I'm going to go to a very familiar one, I think, the LM741. You couldn't get a more familiar one than the 741, I don't think. So it's an 8-pin chip, and on here it is showing all the relevant pinouts and nomenclature, showing pin numbers 1 through 6, 1 through 7, 4 and 7 being the power supply, V plus and V minus, showing here the non-inverting input and the inverting input, the output and the bias pins here, and they're all showing the X for the connection points, which is perfect. And it's showing a good footprint here. U1 standard nomenclature for a chip, an IC chip. So we'll add that. And we'll zoom in a bit. And I'm going to put another one. So now 2, escape, oops, and we've got U1 and U2, which is nice. Now that we've got these in place, I'll show what can be done with them. So we're in the select mode here, up at the top, so I can select the whole of that IC by clicking on this outline, and by pressing the R key we can rotate the thing, and it's showing that the text is always readable by being either left to right or bottom upwards. There. Well, it is also possible to rotate it backwards. Alt R goes backwards. which is very nice indeed. Now if I click off the part, deselect it. Now if I click on the text here, the item reference, I can rotate that and it's readable from the bottom upwards, and Alt R gets you back. However, watch this. Okay, bottom upwards, left to right again, bottom upwards, but it's shifted to the left. Left to right again, shift to the left, shift to the left. So there we have one little wrinkle. We can do either Control Z to bring it back, or I think another one is Alt Backspace. Yes, Alt Backspace gets you to come back. But that is an unusual behaviour, I think, to make it keep going, stepping to the left. It reminds me of that old game of Life we used to play when we were kids on computers. So that's a strange one. However, we can cope with that, it's not catastrophic. So let's try connecting pin 6 to pin 3. Looks okay. It shows a connection by the fact that the connection point disappears. So that is showing a connection. So if we go back to up here, select mode, select one of these parts of the net, this net here. If you hover, you'll see that connection N0000 net class signal. Nice. If we delete it, all of the net gets deleted, not just that part, and the connections come back, which is perfect. Right, we'll place another component. This time I'm going to place a voltage reference. So we'll select that. We're still in the op amps, so we'll change that. And I'm going to go to the designs box. This is the only one I seem to be able to find that's got voltage terminals in it. There are those plus and minus volts and 0 volts, and down at the bottom is VCC, VDD and VSS. But we'll choose that one, plus V. Now we'll show a bus bar here with a stem and a connection point. So we'll add that, and the first thing I notice here is that this item does not bear the same resemblance of what was in the library. In the library, I'm going to click and place it and then escape. In the library it didn't show a voltage reference here, and it didn't show this, which is, if we hover on it, it's a net. It's a power class power part of the net, 5 plus 5 volts, but it did not show that in the component. It doesn't show the reference here. Part number, don't show anything there. Reference name, reference 2. Right, but it's not showing it here. Cancel that. And it also is not showing the connection point. And we'll go back again, whereas it shows it here. console. I wonder if this is overlaying it. We'll move that out a bit. Yes, that's. But it's still not showing the connection point. I'm going to see if it does connect. Well, it seemed to work, and the connection point disappeared here, showing that it's connected. But how do we know, strictly speaking, if this is connected? Tell you what, let us hover on the link. Nothing is showing. Component bin, let's have a look up here. Oops. Components, go to, there we are, +5, plus volts, and 741. Go to component, net, +5 volts. Right, I'm going to go here to select mode and delete that, going backwards. Now there's another oddity. It's detected, deleted the connection, it's put back the connection point, the reference, and it's also deleted the net +5. But would you believe it's left it up here? So if we click on it, nothing gets highlighted because there's no net, but it's left it up here. So let us draw it back in and see what happens. There to there. No net has been put in. But if we go back to component, then back to net, it's back. So it doesn't seem to happen in real time. But notice now it's no longer +5 volts, it's N0001. Well, okay, there's a few things to think about. I'm going to end there and stand by for the next Design Spark PCB tutorial. Bye!